Eddie Hearn brought up an interesting point in his recent IFL TV interview about Deontay Wilder's next two fights. Because, as you can see here from this Boxing Scene article, the working date for Wilder Ortiz 2 is November 9th. But then they're also talking about doing the Tyson Fury rematch in February. Well, at least that was Tyson Fury, who was claiming it was going to be in February. I know his promoter came out and said that the fight isn't signed for February. That's just one of the working dates they're looking at the moment. Well, surely February is going to be far too soon after November 9th to be doing Wilder Fury 2. What if this is a really tough fight against Luis Ortiz? You know, is he really going to just come out of this fight, go straight back into training camp with a month off maximum? I mean, it's possible, I guess, but I don't know, man. I just feel like if they're going to do Wilder Fury 2 and Wilder Ortiz 2 really does happen on November 9th, I just can't see it being in February for Wilder Fury 2. It would have to be, push it further back than that. I suspect that Team Wilder are hedging their bets at the moment, that they're waiting to see how the Anthony Joshua, Andy Ruiz situation resolves itself. Because let's be real, if Andy Ruiz beats Anthony Joshua again in the rematch, I know other people have said this, but I certainly think it's logical. If Ruiz beats AJ in the rematch, they're going to abandon the Deontay Wilder-Tyson Fury rematch. I suspect, anyway, that they'd abandon it. And they would instead try and set up an in-house undisputed fight between Wilder and Ruiz. That would be the logical step for them. It would be a bit mad, actually, for them to go ahead and make Wilder Fury 2 if Ruiz beats AJ in the rematch. That'd be a bit crazy. Because Al Heyman, PBC, would be just one step away from having an undisputed champion. And at that point, they're going to gamble it all by fighting somebody outside of the PBC and Tyson Fury? So he might get hold of the WBC belt? That doesn't make sense to me. So I think, if Ruiz beats AJ in the rematch, they're going to scrap Wilder Fury 2, and they're going to go straight into the undisputed fight between Wilder and Ruiz. That's what I think. And as I say, the amount of time between November 9th and late February, to me, there's just not enough time. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it depends on how difficult the Ortiz fight is for Deontay Wilder. Maybe they're going to keep some provisional working dates for Wilder Fury 2 up until Wilder fights Luis Ortiz the second time around. And if he is able to wipe Ortiz out in a couple of rounds, maybe then they'll sign and say, okay, it's a go for February for Wilder Fury 2. But if it's a real tough fight, or even if Wilder loses, all right, he wasn't too far off losing the first time around. But at a minimum, if it's a real tough fight, then you would imagine they would have to push back the Fury rematch far beyond February. Maybe into March, late March, maybe April. And again, they're going to be keeping a close eye on what happens with Andy Ruiz in the Anthony Joshua rematch. So just a quick one on that. I'd like to gauge your opinions on the situation. Do you think Wilder's going to fight Ortiz at all? Do you think Wilder's really going to fight Tyson Fury in the rematch? I mean, it's all up in the air at the moment because we have to find out the results of certain fights. And Tyson Fury is going to probably fight again in the interim in the United States. So you got AJ and Ruiz fighting. You got Wilder and Ortiz potentially. And you got Fury and somebody fighting. So we need to know the outcomes of all these fights before we really know what's going on. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below what's happening about. Join me on Patreon. I upload a minimum of 2 podcasts every single week, covering a wide variety of controversial topics, as well as live stream Q&A sessions. Take a look on screen right now at some of the podcasts I've produced so far,
For just $3 a month, the equivalent of about £2 a month, you get access to all my new podcasts and my entire back catalogue of past podcasts, including my popular Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. You can listen on your computer or on your smartphone or tablet by downloading the Patreon app from the Google Play Store or the App Store for free. The Patreon app also allows you to download each podcast in MP3. For less than the price of a cup of coffee, you get access to dozens of hours of exclusive content. It's easy to sign up, there's no contract, and you can cancel at any time. So come and join our community of free and critical thinkers by signing up with me here on Patreon today.